Welcome back to Making the Madness on YouTube. Chris Beard has taken the Texas job. He is the new head coach for the Texas Longhorns, leaving Texas Tech conveniently right as the buyout drops for Chris Beard to leave. April 1st was the day where the buyout for him leaving dropped from $6 million to $4 million. Conveniently enough, Texas takes the job, and now the Longhorns, they have their new head coach. What does this mean for Texas?
I mean, this was as good of a hire as they could have made. The Shaka Smart hire, it wasn't a bad hire. Let's be honest, it wasn't bad. It just didn't pan out. They've had a ton of NBA talent. I believe like 5 or 6 guys by the time of this next draft that ended up being first-round picks with Ty Jones and Greg Brown going to be first-round picks. It just didn't work out. They didn't win any tournament games. There was a lot of circumstances that just didn't favor Shaka Smart. And I don't think Shaka's a bad coach by any means. He's going to do a great job at Marquette. But Chris Beard, if you get Chris Beard instead of Shaka Smart, you're doing something right because he's one of the top 5, top 10 at worst coaches in the country. Brought Texas Tech from a program that really nobody cared about to a perennial contender to win, a national championship. Brought them to a national championship. Brought them to an Elite Eight. This year, obviously, they fell in the round of 32. But he's been able to get guys that buy into what he wants to do in Lubbock. That's what you need these days in college basketball. Guys that buy in. He wants you to play hard. He wants you to defend. And his teams always do that. You weren't going to get a better hire than Chris Beard. His buyout dropped today. He went to Texas. I believe he's a graduate assistant at Texas, too. So he's been experienced with the program. This was always seen as his dream job. He never spoke out about it, which is part of the reason why people aren't surprised he left. I, frankly, am surprised he left. I didn't think he was going to leave Lubbock, to be honest with you. But I'm excited to see what he can do in Austin. He's going to bring Texas back to, a contender every season to win a national championship. That's what Chris Beard teams do. They can win championships every season.
Yeah, and, just looking at this season, Texas Tech struggled. They still won more tournament games just this year than Shaka Smart did in his entire Texas career. And, I get Shaka Smart, he had some bad luck. Andrew Jones obviously getting leukemia midseason while he was the leading scorer. That's, that's very tough. Twice he had his leading scorer leave. He had some 5-star centers that we're expecting to be multi-year guys that just were too good in year one. So, I mean, he's had a string of bad luck, but, in terms of, this is a no excuses business, and Chris Beard is a no excuses type of head coach. He's someone that, holds his players accountable. He's someone that, is willing to take second chances on different players. Brandon Francis, for example, comes to mind as someone who he kind of took a second chance on, and it worked out well because Brandon Francis helped lead Texas Tech to the national championship. He has the coaching pedigree. It's just a home run hire for Texas, and this is a very wealthy athletic department, but the wealthy become wealthier with the hiring of Chris Beard. They're going to get a new basketball arena within the next couple of years. This is just, all around for Texas. The program trajectory is looking up.
Yeah, definitely. And we're already starting to see the transfers from Texas Tech start to announce what's going to happen. Kyler Edwards is transferring from Texas Tech, a guy that Chris Beard is super close with. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him land at Texas with Chris Beard. We're probably going to see guys like Mac McClung and Marcus Santos Silva transfer too. A lot of guys are going to transfer. Probably a lot of them are going to follow Chris Beard because that's the kind of impact he has on players. They want to stay with him, and he's going to make Texas a really good team.
Absolutely. As for Texas Tech, I think there's a couple areas they could go. I would say if you maybe just want to stay in house, Mark Adams is someone that has been on the staff for a little while, so I think if you hire him, it's a good idea. I think Joe Goulding would be a good head coach. Just led Abilene Christian to uh, the NCAA tournament and past Texas. So I mean, if that's certainly an option. So I think there's a few options for Texas Tech to go, but I wouldn't leave the state of Texas if I'm looking for a new head coach if I'm Texas Tech.
Yeah, the first call I'm making if I'm Texas Tech is definitely to Joe Goulding. He won an NCAA tournament game at Abilene Christian. He's taken them to 2 NCAA tournaments. He's going to be the name for me.
Absolutely. That will wrap up for this episode of the Making the Madness on YouTube. We will be back with more transfer, more coaching, anything we can find, because this this off season just looks like it is going to be the biggest off season we've seen in a while from a college basketball standpoint.